The new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, has issued a stern warning to President Bola Tinubu, telling him to focus on policies that reduce the suffering of Nigerians or risk being voted out in the 2027 general elections. The chairman of NNPP, Hashim Suleiman Dungurawa, criticized the president's policies, stating that from the podium on May 29, 2023, President Tinubu began rolling out anti-people policies.
We have here that he has dismissed rumors that the NNPP's presidential candidate, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, was planning to defect to the All Progressives Congress APC. Meanwhile, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has also stated that there is no merger deal yet with the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, nor any other party ahead of 2027 elections. Joining us to discuss this now is National Publicity Secretary of the new Nigeria People's Party, Ladipo Johnson. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning and a Happy New Year to you and the viewers.
Happy New Year to you as well. I think the first question I'd like to ask is what the view of the NNPP is regarding the tax reform bills.
Well, you will recall that Senator Kwankwaso made some comments about the reform bill, and it snowballed into a lot of talk about northern Nigeria not being in agreement with the proposed bill. We, on our part, as a party, felt and said at the time that the National Assembly should give Nigerians more time and they should consult more widely so that you have a holistic view of the way the bill will affect different parts of society. And so we're happy that they've put a pause on it. We're still doing our best to look at various aspects of it as a party. We have people looking at it. And very shortly, I believe, maybe in January, early February, before the National Assembly moves on it, we will come up with our position, overall position.
So for now, yes, the NNPP is not overtly in support of the tax reform bills, I get. So is it safe to say that we're seeing all of this criticism happening now as strongly as it is because of the tax reform bills? Was the NNPP this vocal when subsidy was removed and when a number of these policies were removed?
Well, we were. But you know, that time there were various issues. Subsidy was removed May 29th. Immediately during the swearing in, well, at about that time anyway. And at that time, you still had various political issues talking about the recurring one was, would Kwankwaso be teaming up with President Tinubu? Would the NNPP be going, merging with the APC, etc.? And we kept trying to shed light on those issues. Then, of course, we had the issue, the unfortunate issue of those who had been expelled from the party, etc., and things like that. So the party has been very busy, unfortunately defending a lot of things. But I'm hoping, we're more hopeful that 2025, we will be on the front foot, press the pedal and keep moving with what we want to do in restructuring the party, growing the base of the party, and being a more virile, constructive opposition at the national level and at all the state levels, except kind of where we are the government running, the party running the government there.
Yeah.
So that's what you'll see in 2025.
Yeah, talk a little bit more. I mean, I know that we're 2 years away from the elections, but you know, the NNPP is talking about the president losing out in 2027 if he doesn't change his anti-people policies. You know, is this going to be maybe engineered by the NNPP? You know, will the NNPP, as it stands, does it believe that it has what it takes, you know, to win a general election? or to engineer the removal of the current administration?
Look, any social group or grouping has what it takes, or they have what it takes, if they're able to bring issues that affect the people, the voters, to the fore. If you're able to bring the issues to the fore, definitely you'll get people who will join you. The issues will remain on the front burner. And if they're germane enough, then the government will be put on its toes. And if it doesn't meet up, then the people will vote them out. So whether it's the NNPP, whether it's the PDP, whether it is Labour or Peter Obi or what have you, the issues will be discussed more. In 5 months' time, is it? Forgive my mathematics. By May 29th this year, this government would have reached mid-term. And as you know, globally, that is the time you can assess. When we spoke last year, the answer from the APC spokesperson or people who spoke for them was that, oh, it's too early. It's just 1 year. But in a continuous assessment, when it comes to mid-term, then you can look at the report card and say, is this pupil doing well? Is he going in the right direction or not? And then we can now begin to come to the people and say, oh, yes, that tax reform might be it. Oh, no, this, that, this. So I keep telling reporters or whenever I'm doing interviews in recent times, I keep saying, well, these are my views, but let us give them time.
Yeah, but as it stands, the president's New Year message mentioned a few things that he seemed to be giving himself a pat on the back with. The reduction in the price of petrol to slightly above 900 naira, the improvement with the naira-dollar exchange rate, and the naira seemed to be gaining on the dollar recently. He also spoke about other economic policies, incrementing our foreign reserves as well. Aren't these things that the NNPP looks at and says, well, the government is making gains here and there. It may not be perfect, but it's making some gains. Does the NNPP think otherwise?
You see, that is I'm not calling Mr. President a joker. It was like a New Year joke, I take over, you tell Ladipo come and run News Central. I take over News Central, and in less than a year, I tank the whole accounts of News Central. And then I now make an imaginal gain, and I tell you that we are improving. The question is not whether the naira has moved from 1,700 and something to 1,600 and something. It is from where it started. Was it 400 and something just a year ago? This naira has lost over almost 100% of its value. So when it comes to assessing him, he can always assess, anyone can assess themselves. They'll say what they think is good. But we will look at it and say, and Nigerians will look at it. And the question that is always recurring in elections around the world, and that is what we will ask 2026, 2027, is, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? That's the simple question. Yes, you can talk about reform, you are rebuilding, whatever you want to say. But then people will put it in context and say, okay, even if we're going long term, we're reforming and rebuilding, what is happening? And then again, my brother and Olive, you have to look at two things. He keeps talking, when I say he's the president, he keeps talking about the people sacrificed. In his speech, which was, he did a good thing, he thanks Nigerians for their sacrifice. But Nigerians are asking him, what have you sacrificed? What has the National Assembly sacrificed? Even in the 2020, in the proposed budget for this year, we're still talking about renovations. We're talking about buying four-wheel drives, buying cutlery. Why can't you have put in the same thing you said earlier? You said, Peter Obi said it. The cost of governance is too high. It's too high. So you can't be talking, you want magically. Forgive me, I'm not an economist. But my brother, look, inflation is at 34 point something percent currently. And you are telling us in your New Year speech that this fiscal year inflation will be at 15%. It's nonsensical. I'm not an economist. I did some economics for A-levels. You're telling us that inflation will come to half of what it is now, and that to do that, you will ramp up food production. Fantastic, because food inflation is about 50%, 40% of what the headline inflation is. Okay, how? The question is how? Look at the insecurity. They will tell me they're gains. But the National Bureau of Statistics told us clearly in December that we have lost 600 and something thousand people to insecurity, whether 600 and something Nigerian souls.
All right. Let's...
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you raise a lot of valid points, but the question now is, does the NNPP, and I believe my colleague asked that, you had said, that regardless of the party, but I want to bring it back to the NNPP, because part of what we've seen or we've read about is the NNPP saying that if he continues this way, that Nigerians will vote him out, and that Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso will step into the presidency. Do you think, first of all, that the NNPP has what it takes to be able to clinch the presidential elections at the 2027 election? Secondly, what do you think has changed from the last election and now that will make Nigerians give Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso their vote of confidence?
Well, let me start from the last one. What has changed and what is the situation now? Last time you will recall that we started the movement, not the movement, the election movement in 2022. That was when we joined the NNPP, and that was when we ran a one-year campaign. And for that, to go win a state without merging with anyone, win a state, Senate seats, and reps, not bad. For me, not good enough, but not bad. Now, we would have had a 4-year cycle. And though we are facing attacks from the APC and those whom they have been able to use within our party, those who have been expelled, etc., though we're facing these problems, we have had 4 years, or we would have had 4 years come 2027. And that's why, I have said that 2025 is the year for rebuilding, repositioning, restructuring, or rebuilding, restructuring, repositioning the party. When this question comes to me in 2026, maybe first quarter, I'll be able to say to you, oh, we still need to merge with this and that for us to be able to take the country.
Yeah.
So it is either merging or working together, whatever you want to call it. There will be marriages across the political spectrum. And then you can now say, you can take over. Let me give you an example. President Buhari tried so much with the CPC. He got lots of votes that didn't have the spread. The AD, AC, ACN, Bola Tinubu party and whatever, they tried. But when they came together, before the 2015 election, things changed. And even then, they wouldn't have made it. But then 5 states came out, including led by Senator Kwankwaso. And although I'm from Lagos, I was part of those, because I was in Kwankwaso's group, we came out of the PDP. We all had joined the APC then, and we were able to unseat President Goodluck Jonathan. So I keep saying to people who ask me this question, or my friends, that let us wait. We are all working towards the same goal. Let us wait till 2026.
All right.
Then we'll know. One, will see whether the economy, the country has improved, and the people are willing to say, oh, maybe we should give this man another term.
All
then
right.
we'll see how we have restructured and grown.
Oh, well, time will tell, and of course that's the beauty of it all.
Exactly, we need time for that. Yes.
Very soon we would have you back, and of course we would be able to ask these questions again. But thanks very much for stopping by. I hope that we can have you again pretty soon, because there are other things I want to ask about Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso and what he's been up to since, of course, the 2023 elections. Because if he just shows up late 2026, I'm here. Vote for me. I don't know if that is going to work, and of course, other things concerning your decisions also when, like you said, you came together to move to kick Goodluck Jonathan out of office. But that would be on later conversations. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Thank you very much.